Hi, welcome back to Crochet Creations and episode number 52. Grab a cup and join me. I have a whole bunch of finishes that I haven't shown on a regular episode yet. You might have seen them on some of the lives and things like that. But I would like to do an overall wrap up for March, pretty much. So grab a cup. I know I already said it, but it's fun to say it again. And I have a bunch of whips. If I have whips that I have not touched, I don't usually bring them on the episode unless they have had some work on them. So if you've seen a whip in a previous episode and I don't show it today, or it's not finished, well then I guess I didn't give it any love. I'm going to start out with the Facebook group update because I usually do. And the end of March brought us the end of hats, and more hats for March. The yarn that I was spotlighting this month was the Craft Smart from Michaels. And I was using this Arizona Jacquard colorway. And I picked a winner for that. So the winner was Karen, and she gets a skein of that. I did a crochet version. This one is Bagaudet number 610. So that it was an easy enough pattern to make the colorway stand out. That's why I chose that one. I finished it off with a crab stitch, and it came out perfect size to fit me, so I'm gonna consider that a medium size. I added a pom-pom on this one, and this one does come off. They're the snap-ons. You can get them on Amazon. And so there's my crochet version. Now I've done the knitted version. Maybe I'll just switch them. Maybe I won't. She doesn't like to stand up over there, I guess. This is the knitted version. As you can see, completely came out striped. And the stripes are almost perfect. This is the Ross hat, and it even came out to be a beautiful 5-point. I mean, there's barely any. You can almost see a little bit of different color variation there, but it's darn good, I think. But yes, this one is a little bit stretchier. But it does fit me, and I think it came out rather good size for that. It's just gorgeous. I love it. So that was that for the month. Now for April, I'm going to completely change it up. That doesn't mean I'm going to do this all the time, but for April, I'd like to Spotlight the Basic Stitch by Line Brand. This is really soft. It's a basic yarn, a 4 medium. Perfect for hats. So what I've done is I've put up a post for April, and you can put your hats in April. Remember, if you have a hat entered in every month of the make-along, because it's a yearly make-along, you also get in a bonus at the end of the year. So the April month yarn will be Basic Stitch, and you'll get your choice of 2 colorways. There's a picture that shows several colorways you can choose if you're the winner. And I'm going to be using some of the cream colorway, some of the steel blue, and then I'm going to change it up with some of this South Wind variegated. So I'm going to make 2 hats, 1 knit and 1 crochet, and I'm going to use these 3 colors together just to make it a little bit different. And the base of the hats will be shared which one I use, but it'll be different because I'll be changing the colors. So that ought to be fun if you'd like to join me. Please enter your hats that were made in the month of April, and that can be found on the Facebook page. There's also an update on the Happy Scrappy Yarn Challenge. We had, when I put that on, we had a winner drawn for the first quarter. You had to make something out of scrap yarn or 1 ball of yarn for the spring theme and post it in the Facebook group for Happy Scrappy Yarn Challenge. And I picked a winner, and that winner got this kit to make this shawl with 5 skeins of Parrot Lion Brand Unforgettable, and that winner was Cindy. So if you see this video and you don't know if you won, pop on over the Facebook group for Happy Scrappy, and there is a video there of me drawing the winner. So congratulations to those girls. And then we have a year-long make-along called the Pineapple Square Blanket. It's an Afghan, gives me, I don't know if I brought the pattern out, but it'll be linked below. All things that I talk about will be linked below. So it's a challenge to make 1 square per month all year long of this pineapple square. And I have 3 done because January, February, and March is done. And I did not take a picture of all 3, but there they are. So I just wanted to show you that I am up to date. And at the end of the year, we'll sew them together, and we should all have a Christmas blanket to either gift, which I'm going to. Now I think I should make a 4th square, not a 4th square, but an extra square before we get to December, just so that way the 12 squares will be done, and then by December 1st I should be able to sew them together rather than wait until December and make the 12th square. So that's my opinion. There is also a whole bunch of other make-alongs. They are collaborations with other people. They're listed in the Facebook group under announcements. There are 13 announcements there. Some of them are ongoing swap trades where you would like to be able to post your links for your Etsy shop. They're all in the announcements tab. If you do not use those and just put it in the main feed, likely they will be removed as a self-promotion. But we do have a ladder link in the announcements where everybody can share who they are and where they're from. There are also some rules and some other things in there. So now that we've hit about, we're almost to getting close to 800 in that group. So it's a little tricky of what you can share. If you're shouting out someone else, that's fine. But if you're consistently putting self-promotions, sometimes I delete them. Okay, so what have I been working on for the rest of the month? I'm going to show 2 whips. I think it's 2. No, I'm going to show 3. But that's okay. I'm going to show some finishes and things like that. Now, I got this yarn the other day, Premier Bloom, and I have had a similar yarn, which was called Blossom. And I've not used Bloom before, and it's the beautiful 3 light, very, very soft, 100% acrylic, and it's got 656 yards in it. So I'm like, well, let's see. What's this one called? Baby's Breath, I believe. Yes. So I am going to make a which way fillet using this. I've already started. Now, as you can see, there is some pink and green that creates what is supposed to look like flowers, and is not going to line up perfectly, but you know what? I don't care. I am going to make it anyway. It's going to be gorgeous, regardless if it lines up or not. But that's my beginning of it, and oh, so soft. The softness of this yarn alone makes you want to buy it, and how big the skein is. So that is my challenge, to make this to myself in the Premier Bloom. I've made that blanket before, and I really like it. It's a good one just to start a skein of yarn and end it wherever the skein ends, which that's kind of fun too, because you don't know, how, like when you do a blanket from the bottom of the blanket to the top of the blanket, sometimes you run out and you're like, oh shoot, I'm playing yarn chicken, But in this case, you can start in the middle of the blanket and work out, and whenever you start to run out of yarn, you can end the blanket. So that's my opinion there too. Another whip I worked on recently is out of my Outlander book. I'm doing the capelet inside here called the Gathering Cape. It is a knitted cape, and I'm doing it out of the chocolate yarn that Lori sent me, the Premier Serenity in chocolate. This is a 5 bulky, which is what the pattern calls for, and it is 100% acrylic, and they only have 109 yards in each, and I've used 1 ball and about a half of this one so far, so it goes a long way. This size needle that they call for is US 11, and this is darn close to being done. Last time I showed it, it wasn't really big enough to show. Now it is much bigger. So that is the collar, and you will roll it over like that. And if I can get up here, your collar is done in the seed stitch, and then you do that for several inches, and I've marked my piece with the outside showing, so that way I know. And then you continue on with your stockinette, and you add like you do in a raglan down, only this is only a cape. So I'm getting close. I've got about 1 or 2 more rounds of the repeat, and then I can start the border. So yeah, that was the outside. I'll give you a better look at that. And then you do the seed stitch along the edge as well. So that is really fun, and I'm almost done with that. And I was showing it on the live the one day, I think, but I have since done like about half of it since then. Okay. And then let's see if I make sure I keep up on where I am in my notes so that I show everything. Oh yes, we're having a live. We are on to the next live, which is going to start tomorrow as far as the make along goes. And I was going to use this. This is Gorgeous Soho from Hirschner's. And it's a 4 medium. It's very, very drapey for a 4. Almost like a heavy 3, but very light. And I said, wow, you know, this is light enough to make baby items with. So I started my sweater in this, and that'll be what I'm going to be asking, doing on the live tomorrow. So I started mine, and it's what I mean, that color is just gorgeous. So this is what I gotta update, like show you how that mine is going. So therefore I needed to be a week ahead. So I started mine, and then before I went ahead and started the sweater, I had 3 of these, so I said I have enough to do the sweater. And so I also did a bunny lovey to match it, so when I'm done I'll have, this is so soft. I cannot tell you how soft this is. It is that soft. This is that tutorial by Z. It'll be linked below also. And you just throw your crochet around a hair tie, and then you just pop that on your animal, and that's a very, very nice, easy way to do a lovey, and then match it up with your other stuff. So I thought I would do that too. So I have one of those done. And then, okay, so where am I? I showed you whips. Okay, so I think if I go over my little notes here, I know it's kind of like not normally what I do. I was intrigued when Crystal at Bag O' Day said that the mainstay cotton was softer. It was a lot softer than most cotton. So I went ahead and bought one of these, and I said I was going to make a couple of these for my granddaughter, because Mommy says that she likes Grandma's washcloths more than other washcloths. So I, of course, had to make her a couple more. So I made two more for Felicity using the farmhouse washcloth from Glenda at Creative Grandma. And allergies are killing me. So I made 2 of those for her Easter basket, and I still had this much left of the skein when I made 2, and I actually added a couple of stitches just to make them a hair bigger this time, and I still had enough. I don't think I have enough for a 3rd one, but I could probably start it and then border it, edging in another color, so probably do that. But my opinion is they are a lot softer, and I like these almost as well as I like the Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton. So those are done. And then on the live with our Hook and Stitch live, we were doing make along, and I was using this skein of Red Heart with Love metallic, and I was doing the Bod Hat Bonbon number 523. It'll be linked below. And so I finished that, and it comes out so nice in this pattern. You don't need anything this is a perfect size. Now, a lot of people say that they do these, a lot of people say they do Crystal's hats and they come out a little bit big. This one you do increase to 72 stitches, but with the eye, by the time you get down here, you're going to decrease back to 60 stitches, and it does fit me perfect. So if for some reason that you are wary of 72 stitches, you could always decrease down more when you get down farther, and you could also make it longer. I only made it one row after the, because it was long enough. So that one is done, which I'm glad. I wanted to have that one done by the end of March. I really did, because we have a post up that we were going to draw another winner from, and give out one more winner of that blue yarn. Both Kim and I are both going to pull a winner when she gets back to being on camera. We should be doing that Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So hopefully you had a blue hat and you posted it, because I turned the comments off on that one now. That will be coming up. We'll also be drawing our It's a Wrap make-along winner, and that is still open until a couple more days. I realized that that was a very big project that you had to do, and until Kim's ready, why not just let her go ahead and leave it open, and we'll draw winners in a couple days on that. And there is an Elle Gray bag in there too, that rainbow one, so you might want to get your finish in, because a lot of people put up a post and then they didn't put the finish in. So go ahead and do that. What do I have finished? I have this from another live make-along. This one was a challenge for you to do. It was on the live show, live from Christy's Closet, and it was a challenge to do a one ball something where you, well, it wasn't really one ball, but it was act like novelty yarns. I asked if you had any novelty yarns and just make something with it. So this was mine. It was it was King Cole, and it was called Opium. And as you can see, it is crazy big poofs. We call that a roving yarn, and it's very, very tiny in places and very thick in other places. And it came out really nice. So basically, I'm going to be putting this in my Etsy shop, and I think it came out great. And it's enticing me to use other novelty yarns that I have in my stash. So I'm definitely going to be doing that live make along again and challenging you again, because I really liked making that. And it doesn't take long. You just take one ball and start, and before you know it, you're to the end of the ball. And that simply what is it? Marley Bird's super simple shawl. That'll be linked below, that I made that with. And then I think I'm to the end. I really do. I made this superbly simple out of ice cream yarn, which is the 3 light, and this is the banana split colorway, and that came out beautiful. It's just the way the colors randomly hit, so no two blankets would ever be exactly the same, you know. And this is all I had left of that skein. That was 2 skeins. So I thought I would start a sweater to match this, which I did just today. And I'm going to be using this Lion Brand colorway. And that way it's more solid of a sweater. And this colorway is called the Mint. So I started that. I'm using an H hook, and I'm trying out another tutorial from a different, I like to try different patterns from different people to see how their patterns run before, you know. So there's the collar, and I will also link that pattern. Now she does a main pattern for the yoke of most of her items, and then she takes that and tells you to go back to refer back to this tutorial to finish the yoke, and then she'll, so whenever she does something, she's always referring back to that base, which is what I tell you about a lot of stuff that I do. I use a base up to a certain row, and then I go from there and change it. So your finished item starts out with a base and then ends up different from item to item. And that is wonderful. I'm using an H hook on mine so that it's a little bit bigger, because we always like to have things be roomy on the babies, and they can grow into them too. All right, what else? I don't think I have any more finishes. I think I showed them all. Oh, let's see. Yep, I did. I showed them all. So I hope you're enjoying the new collaboration that I'm doing with Stephanie from Stephanie's Yarn Escape. And I hope you enjoy doing baby stuff with us and watching what we're making and things like that. I'm trying to keep them separate from each different content on different videos. Makes sense, right? I appreciate all of you. I read all the comments. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for joining me on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. here on my channel. We'll be starting a new make-along this week. I'm going to have some giveaways. I'm going to show you what prize you can win if you go ahead and do that baby sweater with me. And, you know, just come on over and chit-chat. Put your feet up and grab a cup and just spend an hour with me on Sunday mornings. And thank you so much for watching today. And I'm going to talk to y'all soon in a new Addictions video. So take care. Bye, y'all.